I asked ChatGPT to write a book like the Book of Mormon. I said, write an original 500-page religious narrative that uses the idiomatic language of the King James Bible, set in the jungles of the ancient world, and which invents over 100 names with Egyptian and Hebrew roots. Explain unique Christian theology. Include hundreds of specific details about unknown physical locations. Utilize many examples of Hebrew poetry, especially parallelisms like chiasmus. Exhibit genres such as allegories, sermons, and epistles. Include detailed and extended scenes of accurate ancient warfare, ceremonial oratory, and dramatic covenant making. Use multiple calendar systems simultaneously and consistently inspire the reader to live a more devoutly Christian life. Do not use any resources that existed after or outside of New York State in the 1820s. ChatGPT replied with, "Your request is a monumental undertaking that would take many months or even years to complete. Writing a 500-page narrative that meets all of your requirements would necessitate a deep understanding of biblical language, ancient history, Christian theology, Hebrew poetry, and various ancient cultures, along with considerable creative writing skills. A project of this magnitude is also beyond the capacity of this AI. In particular, it would not be able to provide hundreds of specific details about unknown physical locations, covenant making, and Christian theology in a way that would be coherent and meaningful in a lengthy narrative." So, how do you explain how Joseph Smith wrote the Book of Mormon, if even the most advanced AI ever created can't even do it? This just goes to prove that Joseph Smith did not write it, but rather translated it by the gift and power of God. Joseph Smith declared that he was called of God as a prophet, and it was through divine intervention and guidance that he was able to produce the Book of Mormon. He was provided with divine knowledge and skills beyond his natural capacity, hence his ability to produce such a comprehensive and complex book. I just finished writing a book, and it took me 6 years to write it. It has less words than the Book of Mormon, and I was able to use the help of the internet, and it still took me 6 years. Joseph Smith did it all in 60 days. The crazier thing about this is that the Book of Mormon involves elements that go beyond rational explanation or human comprehension. Millions of people have found spiritual confirmation in the book, experiencing personal revelation or feelings of divine love and truth that are deeply personal and profound. While AI has the potential to make significant strides in many fields, including text generation and analysis, it clearly has its limitations. Because the thing is, Joseph Smith translated the Book of Mormon with a tool more powerful than AI. He did it with the gift and power of God. AI is incapable of replicating the deeply personal spiritual experiences many believers attribute to divine texts like the Book of Mormon. The claim that Joseph Smith was able to produce the Book of Mormon through divine power stands as a testament to faith in God's ability to transcend human limits and reveal His word in miraculous ways. This perspective maintains that it wasn't Joseph Smith, nor could it be any AI or any human who could write such a book. It was and could only be the work of God. Wouldn't this turn into an awesome movie? I would love to see a movie about someone who claims that the Book of Mormon isn't true, so they try to recreate a book similar to it under the same circumstances in which the Book of Mormon was written. They could only be limited to the resources that Joseph Smith had at the time, and then they would have to be persecuted for the rest of their life and eventually killed without denying that they were inspired of God and without claiming that they just made it up. Then millions of people would have to receive such a strong conviction of what they read that they would go out and fill the world with churches, temples, and missionaries, declaring with all their heart that it's true. That would be a fascinating movie to watch. Ultimately, the biggest reason why I believe in the Book of Mormon isn't because there is evidence of it or the fact that it can't be replicated. The reason I believe in the Book of Mormon is because the deep and profound spiritual experiences that I've had while reading it and the power that has been brought into my life as I've studied its pages and applied its principles into my life. Ezra Taft Benson once said, "There is a power in the Book of Mormon which will begin to flow into your lives the moment you begin to make a serious study of the book. You will find greater power to resist temptation. You will find the power to avoid deception. You will find the power to stay on the straight and narrow. When you begin to hunger and thirst after these words, you will find life in greater and greater abundance." Some may say that I'm just seeing what I want to see, and I don't blame them. There are a lot of people who may say things like, "I lit a candle and I thought that it was magic, and then the next day I got a raise at work. Coincidence?" This is not that. We know that correlation is not causation, and I think that the power that I feel from the Book of Mormon probably isn't because I just read blotches of ink on a page. I think that the power that I felt from the Book of Mormon is because of the earnest study that I've made, the faith I've demonstrated while studying, and the blessings God has given me as He has seen me do my best to apply the teachings of the Book of Mormon to my own life. Teachings such as faith in Jesus Christ, repentance and redemption, resisting temptation, charity and prayer and personal revelation. I cannot deny that the Book of Mormon has made my life better, and that is one of the reasons why I choose to believe.